Yashoda Nandana Vraja-dhama Ranjana Yashoda Nandana Vraja-dhama Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Vihari Jaya Gopi Janavalabha Jaya Girivaradari Jaya Girivaradari Yashoda Nandana Vraja-dhama Ranjana Yashoda Nandana Vraja-dhama Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihari Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Radha Shama Sundar, Radha Shama Sundar, Radha Shama Sundar, Shri Radhe. Nitai Gaura Haribol, 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 Nitai Gaura Haribol. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Srila Prabhupada. Jaya Om Vishnu Bhamsa Parivajika Chaya Ashtaja His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Jaya Om Vishnu Bhamsa Parivajika Chaya Ashtaja Shri Srimad Bhaktivedanta Saraswati Goswami Prabhupada Ki Jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnavina Ki Jai. Namacharya Shri Jastaka Ki Jai. Prem Se Ko Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhupada Shri Tveta Gadara Shiva Sadi Gaura Bhaktavinda Ki Jai. Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gopalapinath Shyama Kunda Radha Kunda Kiri Govardhana Ki Jai. Shri Vrindavandam Ki Jai. Shri Navadvipdam Ki Jai. Ganga Maya Ki Jai. Yamuna Maya Ki Jai. Bhakti Devi Ki Jai. Tulasi Maharani Ki Jai. Samaveda Bhaktavinda Ki Jai. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to Shri Guru Gauranga. All glories to Shri Prabhupada. So, you're reading from Srimad Bhagavatam. 27, 25, 26. Goes down 24. Okay. 6. We're reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, 4th canto, 26th chapter, and the text is number 17. And the title of the chapter is King Puranjana Goes to the Forest to Hunt. Rama Uchu Naranatana Janimas Tvatpriya Yat Vyavasyati Bhutalini Ravastare Shayanang Pasya Shatruhan Rama Uchu Naranatana Janimas Tvatpriya Yat Vyavasyati Bhutalini Ravastare Shayanang Pasya Shatruhan Rama Uchu Naranatana Janimas Tvatpriya Yat Vyavasyati Bhutalini Ravastare Shayanang Pasya Shatruhan Rama Uchu Naranatana Janimas Tvatpriya Yat Vyavasyati Bhutale Niravastare Shayanam Pasya Shatruhan. Prabhus, please. Rama Uchu Naranatana Janimas Tvatpriya Yat Vyavasyati Bhutale Niravastare Shayanam Pasya Shatruhan Rama Uchu Naranatana Janimas Tvatpriya Yat Vyavasyati Bhutale Niravastare Shayanam Pasya Shatruhan Rama Uchu Naranatana Janimas Tvatpriya Yat Vyavasyati Bhutale Niravastare Shayanam Pasya Shatruhan. Mataji's. Rama Uchu Naranatana Janimas Tvat-priya yad-vyavasyati Bhutale niravastare Shayanam pasya satruam Nama uchu Naranatana janimas Tvatviya yadvyavasyati Bhutale niravastare Shayanam pasya shatruhan. Word for word. Rama uchu. The women thus spoke. Naranata, O king, Najanima, we do not know, Tvatpriya, your beloved, Yadvyavasyati, why she has taken to this sort of life. Bhutale, on the ground. Niravastare, without bedding. Shayanam, lying down. Pasya, look. Shatruhan, O killer of enemies. Translation by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. All the women addressed the king, O master of the citizens, we do not know why your dear wife has taken on this sort of existence. O killer of enemies, kindly look. She is lying on the ground without bedding. We cannot understand why she is acting in this way. Purport. When a person is devoid of devotional service or Vishnu Bhakti, he takes to many sinful activities. King Puranjana left home, neglected his own wife, and engaged himself in killing animals. This is the position of all materialistic men. They do not care for a married, chaste wife. They take the wife only as an instrument for sense enjoyment, not as a means for devotional service. To have unrestricted sex life, the karmis work very hard. They have concluded that the best course is to have sex with any woman and simply pay the price for her, as though she were a mercantile commodity. Thus, they engage their energy in working very hard for such materialistic acquisitions. Such materialistic people have lost their good intelligence. They must search out their intelligence within the heart. A person who does not have a chaste wife accepted by religious principles always has a bewildered intelligence. The wife of King Puranjana was lying on the ground because she was neglected by her husband. Actually, the woman must always be protected by her husband. We always speak of the goddess of fortune as being placed on the chest of Narayana. In other words, the wife must remain embraced by her husband. Thus she becomes beloved and well protected. Just as one saves his money and places it under his own personal protection, one should similarly protect his wife by his own personal supervision. Just as intelligence is always within the heart, so a beloved chaste wife should always have her place on the chest of a good husband. This is the proper relationship between husband and wife. A wife is therefore called ardangani, or half of the body. One cannot remain with only one leg, one hand, or only one side of the body. He must have two sides. Similarly, according to nature's way, husband and wife should live together. In the lower species of life among birds and animals, it is seen that by nature's arrangement, the husband and wife live together. It is similarly ideal in human life for the husband and wife to live together. The home should be a place for devotional service, and the wife should be chaste and accepted by a ritualistic ceremony. In this way, one can become happy at home. The verse again. All Rama uchu naranatana janimas tvatpriya yat vyavasyati bhutale niravastare shayanam tvasya shatruhan. All the women addressed the king, O master of the citizens, we do not know why your dear wife has taken on this sort of existence, O killer of enemies. Kindly look, she is lying on the ground without bedding. We cannot understand why she is acting this way. Om Ajnana-timirandasya Gyananjala Shalakaya Chakshurun Militang Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. I was born in the darkest ignorance, and my spiritual master opened my eyes with the torch of knowledge. I offer my respectful obeisances unto him. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopisha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vishabhanu Sude Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vanchakalpatarupyascha Kripasindu Vaivacha Patitana Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadara Shiva Sadi Gaura Bhaktavinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. The devotees, thank you very much for coming to this class, and I hope your way was not for nothing. So please give me some blessings so that I will be able to say something meaningful. Hare Krishna. So, okay, my first class I've given here was interesting, and some ingredient, some very special ingredient is repeated very often in many of the verses. It was when I was giving this class about the song sung by Lord Shiva, and there was two things which was needed for becoming fearless and joyful, and one was, which is repeated many times, which was also mentioned in 2 verses before as the real mata. What is this very, very important ingredient? Does anybody remember? Krishna. Devotional service. So this is one thing which is always there. We have to practice devotional service. And the other thing which was in this verse, the song sung by Lord Shiva, was we have to perform our occupational duty. That's also interesting. Also in relation to what was said in 2 verses before, the real mata, we have to have also 2 ingredients, the real mata and the real patni. And the real mata was, again, devotional service, and the real patni is the real wife, is a chaste wife. So, many years ago, I was in a seminar of Devaki Mataji, and there was also another ingredient which she mentioned is very, very important, and this was that the woman has to, she has to provide her energy, and this was also mentioned in 2 verses before, that actually the woman is the energy of the husband. The wife is the energy of the husband, so that he will protect her, she has to provide the energy, and that's a very, very, and for this, she said, the woman has to deeply surrender herself under the feet of her husband and accept him as his spiritual master. That was a very, and for my own life, I can say, as soon as I was also married before, I was a very materialistic person, a very sinful materialistic person, to really say it. So, and I also mentioned a few days before that when I was cleaning these drainages in the Goshala, it was like smelling like, the thing which came out was smelling like, spaghetti bolognese, and it also looked like that. So I was really like a sinful stool and urine preferring 2-legged animals. That was, and it's interesting that by the mercy of the devotees and devotional service, And they engaged me in devotional service. And in the beginning, I was really like, why is he asking me always to clean the temple room? So I was really rejecting it. I was going against it. But later, I could see that there was really some development possible because of this. And I will never forget this. When I was I had some special places. I was in Bhaktivedanta Manor, the Bhakta course, and there it was so amazing to have this association. And later I was in Cologne temple, and there have been some Indian devotees who were so humble, and they were just so devoted, and their service attitude was so amazing that I was really very much inspired, and I was saying, I want to become like them. And recently one of them just wrote an email to me after 2 years, and he said, "Oh, it was so nice to be with you. It's so interesting just how Krishna arranges sometimes things." And this, to come back to this married life I was in, as soon as my wife was not devoted to me anymore, she just took the leadership position. I stopped immediately working. I just stepped back and I became unemployed, just doing something else, not taking care of her anymore, which was actually my occupational duty, to take care of the family, to work, to provide everything what they need. So, and that was really a very interesting thing to see. And also I was in different temples. I visited a lot of temples, and I remember this one temple in Belgium, where their Matajis are very much leading programs, singing, leading kirtans, very normal thing there. And you can see also that the Prabhus, they come to the perfect times when the prasadam is served, but to the programs they don't come so much. They just stay and they become lazy, they step back. They don't do what they're supposed to do. It was so nice to come to this place here and to see that the Matajis are really supporting the Prabhus to come in their leadership position and do what they're supposed to do. That's to lead. And when they lead, and when the Matajis are submissive, and then it's really like a totally different atmosphere. And here you can see how important these two sides are coming together. If married or not married, even in brahmachari life, it's very important that everybody takes his role and tries to do his best to follow Krishna's system, which is not easy. Actually, it looks like poison in the beginning. There's like the mode of goodness. This verse 18, I think 37. Yeah, happiness in the mode of goodness looks like poison in the beginning. And we have to follow so many rules and regulations. And even we have learned in this world how to express ourselves and to compete against each other just from the beginning in the school and wherever in the jobs. Everybody tries to do everything for a job. But of course it's not the right thing to do, and also in relationships. Very often I had an Ayurveda practice, and I also had I was counseling people. Very often you can see how frustrated they all are because they're not doing the right things. They even have no idea what should have been done. So at least they get the knowledge and we know what to do. So all we have to do is to do it. So and for me it was very difficult to give up illicit sex. And I heard of the 4 regulative principles in the beginning, I was thinking, this is not acceptable. It was, 3 I had already, just the other 3 were no problem, but illicit sex was quite an issue for me for a long time. Until I was in Radhadesh, and I don't know, someone broke some being, I can't know this, it was not a physical being, it was like a subtle being, broke out a tooth out of my, and it was very painful, and I knew that was the last warning, so I had to become serious now. So and then Yes, and that was really like also a turning point in my devotional life. So we get some, if you're not following really properly, just what can we expect? We don't attract honest people in our life. We don't get a honest, sincere spiritual master. So it's all about how we are able to apply this knowledge we get into our life. And also when I had some, I was just counseling people, like I said, in my Ayurveda practice, and I was just saying, just at least give it a try. With your mental speculation, you cannot find out if this is really good for you or not. And very often, it was in my case also, I rejected things because I was like, for my mind, it was already too much. But when I just really tried, I gave it a try, and then I found out, it has really a very special energy for me, just like this, just living. Finally, I made it happen to I was very often, I was really asking Sri Chaitanya for help. I must really also say that. And then with his help and the help of some pure devotees, I was able to cut this and to live a celibate life. And it has such an amazing impact on me. Just this clarity, this strength, it was amazing how this was supporting me in all aspects of life. So as you can see, when this morning I saw Ananta Chaitanya, and he was also one of the anchors in my life. Just all the time he showed up, and I was always remembering and thinking, yes, look how you started, and now you're sitting on a Vyasasana and you're giving a class, although you're not really qualified to do so. So I'm very grateful. So it was to come to a place like this. It's really amazing. Just all these devotees. I was in so many temples, like I said, and I had so many difficulties in the temples. And here I just no difficulties at all. It was all just nice. Everybody does what he can do or she can do. Supporting each other is a very, very interesting point which I can see here, which was not so much seen in other temples. And also that is, when you also go into this Kirtanya scene, just you can see that everybody wants to show what he or she can. But the question should not be to show what I can. The question should be, what can I do to support others, to help others in their devotional service? And I personally, because I also have this special ability of feeling energies in the room changing, I also felt this totally difference when a Mataji, for example, was leading kirtan, and it was a perfect kirtan, perfect musician, but the energy was like totally different, and it was like. How to explain? It was if there was nothing happening in the heart, and also you could see after the kirtan that everybody was starting directly chatting. It was like pa 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 pa, and when there was a real good kirtanya, devoted servant of Lord Chaitanya leading a kirtan, you could not stop singing. Just the singing went on and on and on. Your mind, even over the day, just the melody was going on. The melody was following you the whole time. So this is, what was very interesting to experience over many years, just to see. And here is really, I must really give you a big compliment, especially the Matajis. It's very easy to perform devotional service here because you're supporting this so much. That's really nice to see. Thank you so much. And finally, I have found a place also where there's nothing to complain. Mostly, in other temples, I was just because I was like really trying to follow Prabhupada, and when there have been some deviations, I was going against it. And then devotees were complaining about me that I was just going against it, and then I got a lot of times I got the source from the temple president also because of that. But I could not stop that. And then I remember many times ago I was driving Madhavananda Prabhu to the airport. It was in Vraja-dhama, and he was saying to me, and I asked him. He had a very special spiritual master, His Holiness Govinda Swami, and I asked him why he has chosen this, because I had no clue how to find a spiritual master. And he said, I wanted someone who gives me Prabhupada. And I was thinking, then, yes, I also want someone who gives me Prabhupada. And really I was with so many spiritual masters, and I had no idea what I was looking for, really. I was waiting for some special, I don't know, energy. But then he came through a devotee to me. He came to me through a devotee, and the devotee made all arrangements for me. That was the first time that somebody has taken care of me in this way, and also after he accepted me as his disciple, and I was, like I said, I was accepted from many, many spiritual masters. But he was the first time after I've written him a letter of gratitude, and he wrote back, "May Srila Prabhupada's blessings always be upon you, and I wish you all the best on your way back to Krishna." And this was the first time somebody did that to me. I know I've not deserved such a spiritual master, but I tried best to go on and to serve the devotees. And I hope I can please him somehow. Thank you very much. So, the ingredients. Yes. So don't forget the very important ingredient is devotional service. It's the real mata, the real mother, and the chaste wife to make a happy home. So that I almost forgot that. So to have a happy home, the wife has to be protected, and this was neglected by King Puranjana, to come back to the verse again. But if I understand it right, she has to be at home. So otherwise, she cannot go to work and to, I don't know, serve. Maybe it's my wrong understanding, but working in the restaurant or serving somewhere outside. I'm not sure if that is if the protection is provided at this point. So the real protection is at home, and to have a happy home, she's supporting the husband in devotional service at home. So I've not experienced it myself. I don't know if this will come. I hope. And I mean, what also was part of this seminar was that the divorce rate in ISKCON is like 71%, or even a little bit higher. That is not very good. It's even worse than outside. With the karmis, even just they have longer lasting of the relationships than we have. So one thing we are making the same mistake. We are going for the nectar everywhere. But what's happening to the nectar? Yes, it's turning into poison always. So there should be some poison in the beginning. That is maybe interesting also for relationships, that there should be some poison in the beginning. If everything is like too nectarian, that could be a difficult thing at the end. So just watch out for a little bit poison. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much. Are there some questions or chastisements or whatever? Okay. Thank you very much. Can I stop here? Mm-hmm.